Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, we're going to take a look at the access keys. Now, we have utilized this stuff a lot in lab, so I don't really feel there's much to cover here. But let's go ahead and look at one of our users. So we'll go into the AWS examples user. You'll have to have a user for this to work, so just do whatever you need to do that. And under the security credentials, we have under here our access keys. And so we can create up to 2 access keys. And all of this stuff doesn't really matter because it doesn't really do anything. It's just here to give us warnings. But maybe what we could do is see if we can generate out access keys using the AWS CLI. So AWS CLI access keys here. Normally we just do ClickOps for this, but I figured let's try this the other way here. So I believe that we can generate them. But here it's not really helping. So I'm going to make my way over to the AWS CLI. I will say version 2. I get tired of having to specify. Still shows 1 at the top here. But under here, if we go to AWS, access keys, I would imagine would be part of IAM. So we'll go down and search for IAM here. And we'll just search for access. And here we have create access keys. So we'll go down to examples. And so here's an example of us creating access keys. Let's go ahead and test that out. And I'm going to turn on the on partial AWS CLI. Since I get really tired of not having that turned on, but I wish you could just tell it to always be turned on in your Cloud Shell. But here is that auto prompt. So I'll go ahead and paste that in. I'm just going to say on partial. So this way, when I type in AWS, maybe we need an export in front of that. Sometimes I forget to do that. I think we're doing bash scripts, that's why. And we'll try this again. There we go. We'll type in IAM, and we'll say create access keys. And so we'll have to provide a username. And so this will be for AWS examples, I believe. We'll go ahead and hit enter. And so there is our access key. It shows us our secret. If we go over here, we can give this a refresh to see that those keys are there. Okay, so there are those keys. Obviously, once you see the secret, you cannot see it again. So that is just a security precaution. Let's go ahead and see if we can delete those keys. So we'll go ahead and try that with the CLI. Delete access keys. I'm going to imagine it's very similar, but we have to actually provide the access key ID here. So we type in AWS IAM. We'll just make this window a little bit larger here. We'll type in delete access keys. We'll say for username, AWS examples, and then we need to provide the access key ID, and it's auto-completing. Sometimes it auto-completes, sometimes it doesn't, but it's making our life really easy. It's saying the key cannot be found. I mean, it's right here, but it didn't actually give us the key that I was expecting, which was interesting. So I'm going to go back and try that again. Okay, I'll make this window a little bit larger. And we'll say delete, delete access key, username, it was examples, access key ID, and it's not auto-completing the correct one, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. I'm not sure why it's showing such a different one there. We'll go ahead and hit enter, and so now that key should be gone. We'll give this a refresh and see if it's gone. There you go. You can add up to 2 access keys, and there's actually been a security reason for that. I don't know if it still matters, but at one point, the reason why you'd want to generate out both access keys is that if somebody was to get into your AWS account, if you had an open access key slot in order to create it, then that could run into an issue because then that person could create a new access key and utilize it for stuff because maybe they wouldn't have the other access key, but they could get the new one. So if you have an account where you allow people to create access keys but not necessarily delete it, and you fill up the 2, then it becomes the administrator's responsibility to rotate them out, or you could automate that. But my point is that filling up both access keys is a strategy for security. But yeah, there you go. That's access keys.